Hello crafters, this is Suzanne for Cat Scrappiness, and I'm here today to make a card with a few techniques in it. We have some heat embossing, some alcohol ink blending, all kind of layered up goodness. The alcohol ink technique is new to me, so this is my first time doing it, and I actually found out it's much easier than I thought. Alrighty, let's get started. Today we're going to make this card. I'm showing you a picture because my card is dissected into pieces, so we're going to put it together. So we're going to make this card, okay? Let me show you all of the Cat Scrappiness goodies that I'm going to use to create this card. First, I'm using the awesome Fluttering By layering stamp set. You have a large butterfly, then you have details. 2 sets of details for that large butterfly. I love the side profile. I call this one the medium butterfly with details for the medium butterfly. Then a small one and details for it. It also does have a coordinating die. Also, I use Cat's new awesome A2 frames die. This outer one, the biggest one, this is a A2 frame, 4 1/4 wide, 5.5 inch long. The frame itself is 1/4 inch. And then there are 3 other sets, so that's super cute. It does also have a coordinating mini slimline for it. The mini slimline, let me tell you how much that is. 3.5 by 6. Cute. So for this video, I'm focusing on the A2 frames, and also for the sentiment, I'm using the high from the nesting stitch banners, but I have an idea for my next video with Cat Scrappiness with these 2 products together playing happy happy. But I am using that layered high, which is just so cute. Love this banner set too. This is 5 banners. Great for card making, scrapbooking, mini album making. Nice die set to have to add to your stash. Here is the stamp. I like to use for this type of layer stamping an ink that has foam, not felt. This will give you a much thicker coverage. Next, I used Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock for my stamping. So you can see here I have my stamp positioner all ready. And Kat does carry some in her store, so you can check it out under her tools section. I have it all set here where I have the base butterfly, then the detail for it, and then that side butterfly ready to go. That's the beauty of the stamp positioner. I did this beautiful turquoise color. I'm going to change it up and go with more of a purple tone this time. And you want the coverage to be more even. These are the solids, so I'm using this beautiful purple color for the solids. You stamp it down. Alrighty, so I stamped this out twice. I had positioned this in such a way that I could kind of mass produce. So there is the purple butterfly. Now, there's 2 options when it comes to this. This is a lot of ink, and it's going to stay wet for a while. You could use a heat gun like this, a heat tool, dry your ink. What I did with the samples that I made before, here in this turquoise color, I left this overnight because the details now, I'm going to use embossing powder on it. And once you put the embossing powder on wet, it's going to cover the whole thing. If I put any embossing powder on it, it's going to stick to the whole thing. I stamped it, left it overnight, and then I knew 100% that it was dry. So I'm cleaning off my stamp so I don't get anything transferring, okay? And I'm going to be using some clear embossing ink and some gold fine detail embossing powder. Clear embossing powder, like so, on the detail part of the wing. Of course, you could just use ink on ink, but I wanted it to be a little bit more of an elegant card, so I'm going a different route. Just showing you a different technique, layering ink and embossing together. Now I'm going to take a coffee filter. I have the word gold, because that means that I use gold embossing powder on this. Pour the embossing powder on it, and it should only stick to where I just put the clear embossing ink. You see the difference? Now let me show you with that purple. Even though we did it a while ago, let me show you what happens with the purple. It's sticking a lot of places with it. And I'm going to heat that so you guys can see. Use your coffee filter or a sheet of paper, fold it in half, put that valuable embossing powder back. Let's get the heat gun going. I'm going to play a little music so you guys don't have to hear the heat embossing, but I am going to show it to you, all right? Make sure that your heat gun is nice and hot before you start the heat embossing. I like to go from underneath first, meaning under the bottom, then on top, okay? So here it is with the gold embossing powder. Isn't that pretty? Here it is if you don't let the ink dry and then you just sprinkle embossing powder, but that's kind of cute too. So if you're going for a more mixed media look, you know, more grungy, that could work as well. I think it's kind of cute, but of course, we're working with this one today. Cut out these images. I have them already done, like so. I use this style and I also used this other one and I did the ones on the side, so I have them all ready to go. Now I'm going to die cut one of the butterflies with the coordinating die. You line it up like so. I'm going to get a little bit of tape just to hold it in place. Here's my die cut image. Super duper cute. So now we have our cute die cut butterfly. How did I get my butterfly from here to here? I just used my fingers. Just imagine down here, down the center, because I want it to be more popped up. So I'm just pressing my fingernail into the cardstock. But what I am creating is that little ridge like this. With my finger, just bend the paper. This Bristol paper can handle that kind of pressure. It's nice and sturdy. And so I have them all bent. Right, so now let's go into that background. I'm using a sheet of Yupo paper, and this is a alcohol ink paper. It's paper with a slick surface so that the alcohol ink can move instead of it being absorbed into the paper. So it's called Yupo. I have a glass mat. If you don't have a glass mat, you can use a silicone craft mat. Here is my finished product. This is my first time doing alcohol ink. I think it didn't turn out that bad. I have some alcohol pearl inks. I want to use blue and a green, kind of coming close to this, but just a little bit different just to see. This is my first try. This is going to be my second try, okay? Shake it up because the alcohol pearl does have a little ball in here to mix up the mica with the ingredients for the alcohol ink. Tim Holtz would be cringing. All right. So here I'm putting some blue, and then I'm going to also put some of this green. It's the randomness of it that makes it fun. It's like mixed media, although I'm not the big mixed media person because I always like to know where my stuff is going. And then you use this little hand pump. It's found in the same section where you buy alcohol inks. So I can use alcohol blending solution. This is something else that you can use to help blend stuff. So let's see. If I put a drop here in the middle, let me see what happens. But you keep just dropping the alcohol ink and blending away. As you can see, I started out like this and then I built up the layers, okay? And you keep just going, layering up, and it will dry to be like this, okay? This one does have some gold in it. I had used alloy for the little gold in here. You set up the whole scene, then you put some gold on top, and then it creates this kind of a marbling gold effect, okay? All right, so that was a very brief tutorial on how to use alcohol inks. Just, you have to have the right paper and work on the right kind of surface. Right. So now this is my card base. This is a A2 card base, 4 1/4, 5 1/2, trimmed down a little bit because I'm using the frame die. Remember in the beginning, I talked to you guys about this one, the frame die. Here is the frame die. I had cut the frame twice, one in this beautiful turquoise blue paper and also in black. So I layered it up twice just to make it more stable. Then I used some 1/8 of an inch foam tape. 1/4 inch is gonna show, so I'm using 1/8 of an inch tape in these strips and put it like this. I'm going to remove the tape backing and then adhere it on here. So after I remove my tape backing, now I'm going to stick it down. Now, something is saying to me, put a little bit of glue on this, just because I'm not sure about this surface. It's my first time working with it, so I just want to make sure that I have a good stick, okay? Using some of my Barely Art glue. Kat does carry this glue in her store. You can check it out. It's great glue. Just a bead of it, just to make sure that everybody is stuck together and happy. Now at this point, you could use this frame, and turn this thing into a shaker. You know what? Let me go the other way. Let me go back this way. This gives me more control. There we go. Upside down worked better. Look at that. The frame is framing it. I thought about using black on the frame, but I decided to go this route instead. Ooh, I'm liking it. Look at that. Now, you could have used acetate, the foam tape, and then turned this into a shaker. But I'm liking it, though. It has a nice mixed media feel. And this card base is a little bit wider than an A2 card base. I wanted to have that matting effect. So this is 4.5 inch wide, 5 3/4 inch tall, okay? In total, that would be 9 by 5 3/4, score down the middle at 4.5 on the 9-inch side. Alrighty, now remove the tape backing to adhere it onto your card base. So I removed the tape backing. Now I'm going to adhere it onto the card base. Okay, and there we go. There is your card base, looking cute. But now I want to bring all my little butterfly friends into it. I have all my butterflies that I have crimped with my fingernails. And I was thinking like having the high in the middle and then butterflies around it. I like this composition, so I'm going to just go for it. Instead of popping up the butterflies, because the wings are already popped up, this Bristol is holding very good. I'm just going to put a bead of glue down that center here that I use my finger on, like so, and adhere it. Kind of hold it in place for a second. There you have it. A cute 3D card. I could put some gems on this, but I think I'm going to stop here. But if you wanted to, oh, you could definitely put gems on it. But I just think with the alcohol background being what it is, and then the butterflies are coming off, I think my mind is saying to stop. It would be nice though if I did put on the sentiment, right? Okay, and now I'm going to pop my sentiment up with a little bit of foam. Like so. I kept the sentiment simple. I think this is so cute. I think that is it. Now, the main thing is, with the background, just have fun with that Yupo paper. I could have stopped here and put some butterflies on it. I have some extras. See? That could have worked too. Okay, crafters, I am hopping back into the video with a bonus. I just finished up this card. So at the end of this tutorial, I had all this goodies left from the previous, so I just made a second card. So now I have actually 2 cards for this video. This one with all the layering goodness, and this one with not as much alcohol ink. And I kind of like the white space. And instead of using a black card base, I use a white card base. And here I kind of left the wings popping off more out of the frame and put a bigger sentiment here. I'm using the Love You word die. Great one. And I did pop it up and I layered it with the blue for the frame and then a little bit of shadow in black and white cardstock. This one I used some white glitter cardstock. Alrighty, crafters, I just wanted to show you that instead of having just 1 card, now I have 2. So I used both with this fabulous frame die set and Flutter By butterflies. Yay. This is fun. 2 techniques to make a cute card. The recipient would just look at it and go, what's all of this? In person, all the layers just so pretty. And the pearl just gives it the background, that pop. The frame just frames it all, gives you that fabulous, elegant finishing touch. The butterflies, just fabulous, fabulous. Alrighty, crafters. Below in the video are the names of all the items I use from Cat Scrappiness. And until the next video, go check out these wonderful items, and her new release, Summer Vibes, has so many good dies, stamp sets, all kinds of fun, stencils and everything, all right? Stay crafty, my friends. Bye.